bodies attempting to kill anybody who may have been inside. We have not yet been able to verify if people were actually killed in this moment, if you're actually looking at people die behind those doors. But obviously, that was the plan. That was the intent. That's what they were doing. N is analyzing and verifying more than 50 videos like this one, piecing together exactly how many of the brutal killings, the slaughter unfolded that morning. Katie Polglaze is OUTFRONT with an in-depth investigation. It's 6:30 a.m. on October 7th, and things are getting into full swing at the Nova Festival in the south of Israel. We were having fun, peace, love, good vibes, and an hour or an hour and a half after we are running from bullets, suddenly the music stops. And then there's the station. But no sense yet of the horror about to unfold as news spreads of rocket attacks from Gaza. People begin seeking shelter, crouching close to the ground. But even this doesn't lead to outright panic. Rocket attacks visible here are a regular occurrence in this part of southern Israel. About 10 minutes later, and some start heading to their cars. The decision of when and how to leave the festival would mean life or death for many. Some fled early to nearby bomb shelters. It's 7:10 a.m. and many are crammed inside. This one to the north of the festival, but they've been followed. At 7:24 a.m., Hamas threw a grenade inside, causing horrific damage. This man, Noah, emerges stunned into the daylight and is not the only shelter to be targeted. 30 minutes later, and further down the same road, Hamas militants are caught on dashcam footage outside another shelter. They throw a grenade inside. In total, CNN has identified 4 different shelters near the festival. The Hamas attacks all full of people over the next 6 hours. Hundreds of civilians were killed, hunted down as they tried to flee the festival by examining over 50 videos of that morning and speaking to 12 survivors. CNN has established that Hamas surrounded the festival, blocking 3 approaches to the south, north, and west, forcing people to flee across the fields to the east. Even then, they were hunted. It's now 8:15 a.m., and Gal Chopin survives along with others by running across the fields. He's pictured here in the white t-shirt. Local police and security told them to drive east across rough land due to roadblocks on the main road. But many end up fleeing on foot. We're like ducks. It was like a range. People were running in their hundreds, and you can hear the bullets coming. Were you seeing anyone get shot? Yeah, you can see people fall. It's 8:30 a.m., and as Gail and others continued running east, others running north met with more bullets and a police blockade, causing further panic. As a result, revelers start running back down the main road towards the festival, not knowing there were more militants. Just a few kilometers further down on that same road, chilling dashcam footage shows Hamas militants shooting directly at an approaching car just an hour earlier. Those festival goers that remained closer to the concert site hid behind anything they could find, even behind trees, waiting while the bullets closed. And many did not survive. 260 are reported dead, but that toll could rise. Just 3 hours after the start of the massacre, a 9:39 a.m. videos emerge of some festival goers already held hostage in Gaza. This man still wearing a festival wristband and another visibly wearing the security uniform. Their fates remain unknown. Google and others are still processing the trauma of what they went through. I know people who were like 12 hours in the bushes and they didn't move. I know people who tried to hide and they died. Humanity never seen this in the last couple of hundreds of years since maybe the Holocaust. But this is just horrific. Horrific. It would be 10 hours until help arrived for some. Others are still missing, feared dead or held hostage. In Gaza, the scale of this tragedy may grow greater yet after those 6 hours of horror in the desert. Katie Polglaze, CNN, London, and OETFRONT now, Wolf BLITZER. Of course, he's been following this story for decades, and he knows it better than anyone. So, Wolf, when you look at that report and how intricately planned the massacre was at the music festival, the slaughter of at least 260 people, that the footage of someone shooting up the port of potties for shelter to shelter because they knew where they were waiting to be brought in them, and then throwing in grenades. The more we find out, the harder it is to see a way for this tutu to de-escalate, for anyone to back away. And I know yesterday when you and I spoke, you thought there was a very tiny chance that this could calm down and de-escalate. Is that chance basically going to zero now? Yes, it's basically zero based on everything I'm hearing from my Israeli sources. The Israeli military does not mobilize 300,000 or maybe close to 400,000 troops, deploys them to this area around Gaza, and is not about to try to achieve two major objectives. The first objective to either capture or kill the Hamas leadership. The second objective to either capture or destroy the Hamas weapons. They'd like to capture a lot of those weapons because if they do capture the weapons, they can determine presumably where they came from. Did they come from Iran, for example? And if they did come from Iran, that creates a moment for the Israelis if they want to continue the escalation to target some sort of objectives in Iran as well. This could really escalate not just in Gaza, but elsewhere as well. And I'm convinced that the Israelis are not going to back away. They want to achieve those two objectives. It could happen within a matter of hours. It could happen within a matter of a few days. But everyone should brace for a major Israeli ground invasion of Gaza. And interesting, the Colonel Conricus, I know you've been speaking to him too, Wolf. He said they still don't know the depth of that arsenal and those special forces raids today. Right? They were about trying to get that information of the names, who was involved, exactly what. Right. That seems like they're trying to be surgical to get exactly what they need because it's very clear what the intent is. As you said, who puts 400,000 or close to 400,000 troops along a 25-mile border? If you're not going to do something, yeah, they're going to do it. And it's just a matter of when. And in my opinion, it'll be fairly soon. All right, thank you very much.